Hold on, let me get this microphone on. I know, big head, right? Yep. I actually don't need it, but this thing looks so cool that I gotta put it on. So, check it. I'm gonna talk about speaking with confidence. And I know it's something that's really hard in public speaking, because they say, like, if you go to a funeral, it's better for you to be the person in the box than the person doing the eulogy. I personally disagree. And you know, when I say things like I like public speaking, people look at me like, yo, you've gotta be like a brave person. You really think I'm brave? If I was to tell you my fears, you would not think I was brave. You wanna know what my fears are?
Sure.
Needles and contact lenses. You still think I'm brave? Hope not. But the thing about it is that I really, really do enjoy public speaking. And I want to share with you some keys that you can use to be able to speak with confidence. I really believe that the whole fear of death and fear of speaking being even greater than the fear of death is grossly over-exaggerated. I want to tell you about my friend, by the way. His name was Quinn, and he was very important to me. He, to me, is the epitome of what it means to come across with confidence. Before I tell you exactly why that was, I want to give you a little bit of an insight into who Quinn was. By the way, it's been about 10 years since he passed now. But Quinn, he was a character. There's no way I can mention him and just not laugh. For example, one day we were down in Alabama. That's where he went to school. I went down there to visit him. He's a pretty big guy. He was about 420 pounds at the time. And we had to go out to eat because we're college students. We don't know how to cook yet. But we go out to eat. I wanted to go to Taco Bell. He wanted to go to Burger King. Taco Bell's right next door to Burger King down in Huntsville, Alabama. So there we are. We are going there and stuff like that. And he turns to me in the car and says, I don't want to eat Taco Bell. And I say, Quinn, I want Taco Bell. He goes, who cares what you want? And I say, Quinn, what do you want then? He says, I want Burger King. And I was like, okay, we'll go get Burger King right afterwards. It's right next door. He says, but I don't want to wait. I'm hungry. I was like, Quinn, if you're so hungry, then get Taco Bell. And then Quinn says, well, guess what? I don't want Taco Bell. He gets out of my car, heads over to the Burger King. That's what type of stuff that he does. I get my Taco Bell. I drive into the Burger King. Guess what? The dining room was closed. It was 10:30 at night. And this guy doesn't drive. So I'm wondering, where is this guy? Like, what's going on here? I drive around to exit the Burger King, and what else do I see besides Quinn standing in line with the rest of the cars? I pull up next to him, and I was like, Quinn, what are you doing? I'm getting Burger King. And that's just kind of who he was. Other stories too. He also was a speaker. And I remember this one time that we were at a church, and he was supposed to be speaking. And you know, like how there's stages some places that are elevated and the steps are over to the sides? He decides, on a stage about this high, 6'3" man, 420 pounds, he decides that he's not going to use the steps. He takes one giant step up. And I was like, oh my goodness, what's going to happen now? And then, as though that wasn't enough, just like I have a microphone here, he had a lapel microphone on, and he had a water bottle. Before he speaks, he gets up there, drinks out of the water bottle, crinkles it all loud in the microphone and everything. And if that just wasn't exaggerated enough, he then is holding the water bottle in his hand and drops it before he starts speaking. This guy was a true character. But this last story about him really epitomizes his confidence. One day, we're crossing the street. And I know what you're thinking. What type of story can be good with crossing a street? Well, we're crossing the streets. And while we're crossing the street, I look back across the street, and there Quinn is still standing in the middle of the street. I look back and say, Quinn, what are you doing? He says, are you blind? I'm directing traffic. I say, Quinn, why are you directing traffic? He says, so people can be safe. And I look back and I'm like, this guy is a buffoon. But the thing about it, the funniest part about this all is that while he's sitting there, stop, go, and all that type of stuff, people are listening to him. And I wondered why. It's because he did it with complete confidence. Confidence is persuasive. Confidence is what you need to get a point across. Even him doing something so dumb, he did it with complete confidence, and it was great. So I want to share with you what I believe goes into being confident. And what this takes is something called visualization. What is it? Visualization. And I know you've probably done this before. I'm going to run through this really quickly. Usually with visualization, we try to be as positive as possible. So you visualize yourself up there. You visualize yourself killing it. You visualize yourself doing so good. But would you believe that that's the last thing you want to do? It's great for motivation, bad for preparation. What you actually want to do is that you want to visualize yourself bombing it. You want to visualize yourself with every worst thing that could happen. You want to visualize yourself doing the worst possible. And you want to visualize yourself surviving after it's done. You see, fear is something that you have to face. It doesn't go away. Fear is something that we have to take on anyway. Fear is something that we carry with us, but we dethrone it when we're able to face it and move forward. How do we do that? We prepare for the worst. And have you ever noticed that on the positive side, the visualization never happens the same way that we visualize it? It's the same thing on the negative side. It's never as bad as we visualize it, and it's never as bad as we prepare for it. So that's the first of the 3 keys, by the way. You want to feel the fear, face the fear, go with the fear, and dethrone it. The second thing that you want to do is that while you're speaking, you want to focus on what's happening in the moment. While you're giving a presentation, the most important thing to do is to be present. And one thing that gets in the way of it sometimes is what we prepared beforehand. I mean, just to let you know, I forgot so many points of what I have in my notes right here. And it's okay, because it's not about the notes right here. It's not about these things controlling me. It's about you and me right now. So, I mean, later on, probably if you want my notes, whoop-de-doo, I can email them to you. But I didn't go by them. And then the third thing, the third key, it's, hold on. The third thing is to accept that your audience is never as critical as you imagine. When I just stumbled a little bit, how many of y'all thought less of me? Raise your hand if you did. It's okay, I'm not going to hate you. Isn't it crazy? A lot of times we think that the audience is going to think less of us because of us messing up. They won't. Have you ever been through a bad speech in your life? Do you remember the person's name and everything like that? How many of y'all been to college? You've been through some bad speeches with some bad professors that couldn't speak. I bet you still respect those professors, don't you? People don't criticize us as bad as we think that they're going to criticize us. People actually are going to enjoy us no matter what. As a matter of fact, most people understand what you're going through. Most people understand that it takes guts to get up here. Most people understand and respect it. And most people are just okay with you getting up here, saying certain things. It might not be good or anything like that, but so many times we paralyze ourselves because we think that they're thinking bad of us when really everything's okay. So those are the 3 keys right there. The first thing that you want to do is that you want to feel the fear, face the fear. Confidence is not the absence of fear, it's the carrying of it and disempowering it. The second thing is that when you prepare and when you present, you want to make sure that you're present as you present. And the third key is that your audience is not as critical as you think they are. Having these 3 keys will help you be able to present with more confidence. And if you don't believe confidence works, just remember my friend Quinn. And everything will be cool. Not until